So today we'll speak about how to push your legacy app into the cloud without rewrite them. So first, customer behavior are evolving. Now everyone uses smartphone. Large company have bring your own device or choose your own device strategy, and so you should react about that. And I'm sorry guys, but your lovely legacy app are not cloud ready. And I know you love them, but you will not be able, let's say, to continue to use it now. You need, let's say, cloud is a must-have, and you need to move to the cloud. Hopefully, there are some solutions for you. And the cloud can be, let's say, an opportunity for your application. So what we provide through OW2 is a platform where you will be able, let's say, to install your on-premise application, your Windows application, for example, and thanks the platform. Anyone will be able to reach this application through a simple web browser. So how it works? In fact, we have, let's say, some application server, some VM, Windows-based VM, where you will install, we will install automatically your application. And after we have a proxy, HTML5 proxy, that will be able, let's say, to deliver your application to an end user. So the end user need only a web client. And for sure, we provide some features like scale out or scale down to instantiate new instance if you have a lot of users that want to use the application. Or if, for example, it's the night, you want to decrease the number of servers. You don't need a lot of power because there is nobody, or let's say only a small group of users that are using your application on the cloud. So let's go with some video to show you how it works. So first one here. So at the beginning, you will need to log, let's say, on the platform, and you will have a number of tabs. And the first stuff we will do is to upload in the cloud a software you want installed. So for the demo, we will use Scilab. So we spoke about MATLAB just before. Scilab is developed by INRIA, and it's an open source software for mathematics modelization. And it's only it's a EV client. It cannot work on the cloud. So what I do, I will drag and drop the installation file. So the MSI, the whatever the file you will need to install the software, and I will drag and drop it on my web browsers. So it will be available inside the cloud, the installation package. Now I can run a remote desktop, find my installation file, and can run it. So I have as in fact, if you install it on your laptop, it's exactly the same. So you have a remote desktop and you install the application at the same time. What is interesting is that NanoCloud will let's say save all the changes you do on the system to be able to have an image and to provision this image to some application server. So when you will have a lot of users that want to use this application, you will be able, NanoCloud will be able to instantiate a lot of servers to have the application with a lot of power up and running. So when the installation is finished, you will need to publish, let's say, to make available this application. So in fact, I will just go to application and to publish and to look to the .exe to launch each time a user want to use the application. So here I pick up the good exec, and I think it's nearly finished. Yeah, so I rename the exec. Okay, I rename the exec, and now it's okay. It's finished. My application is available on the cloud. So I will now use another video to show you how to a user will be able to use it. Let me just go to full screen. Okay, I know we are a little bit in late, so I will just remove the user management, create write, etc. It's not something the most interesting. So now I will log as a user. So I'm a new user, so I'm only on a browser. So I will just use this portal and have Scilab application available. And now I'm on my browsers, and I will be able, let's say, to use the Scilab application. So I don't see the desktop, the Windows desktop. I just see the application, and I can for sure drag and drop some stuff from my laptop to the software, to the cloud, thanks to Drive. Here I have an example file, so I can run it and I can use it in the cloud through my web browser, as I can do it on my laptop, in fact. So the application now it's in the cloud and it's available, and I don't need to update my application, to change something on my application, even if it's not multi-tenant. There is absolutely no code rework here. Okay. So just to finalize. Oops. Excuse me. Here we go. Oops. Sorry. My mouse. Okay. Just to finish, I will speak about two use cases, about some customers we have. First one is ESI. So ESI is a French software editor. I think it's in the top 6 or top 7 in France. And they have a big software to do modelization. And this software, in fact, needs a lot of GPU. Not CPU, but GPU, graphical power. And they had a big pain is each time they sell their software, users should upgrade their laptop because they need a better graphical card. And today, except for gamer laptop, there is not a lot of power for the graphical card. So here, in fact, they have some, let's say, benefits to put their software in the cloud, to be able to leverage some power in the cloud, and to be able to sell their software without the need to for the users, for the customers to renew his hardware. So in this use case, it's private cloud. They manage themselves with big, not big server. It's not a lot of RAM, not a lot of CPU, but with big graphical card. And they have a lot of users that can use the same graphical card. So here they push the software in the cloud to be able to share GPU computation. So it was a, let's say, interesting use case, because sometimes or very often you say, okay, I will push this to the cloud, but I will have a lot of latency, I will have less power, less compute power. And in this use case, they push to the cloud to give more power to the user. Another use case, it's Transdev. So Transdev, it's also in French. So NanoCloud operates only in France right now. And they have a lot of legacy application available only on Windows, and it was for them very complex to deploy and to maintain. They have some patches to apply, and they should go to all end user laptop to apply some patches. So they have some benefits, let's say, to go to the cloud internally, only let's say to reduce the maintenance of their application. And that's all for my presentation. Thanks a lot.